Yes, good morning students. Today's our discussion is based on magnetism chapter. Okay, so I hope you are practicing the questions. Then you are seeing the video to clear your doubts. Okay, so it is suggested for you to just first solve the question paper, then see the videos to clear your doubts. Okay, so now we will start. So question number 1 is a small coil C with number of turns are given as 200 turns. Number of turns are 200 is mounted on one end of a balance beam and introduced between the poles of electromagnet as shown in the following figure. Okay. Area is given as 1 centimeter square. So area I will write down as 1 centimeter square means 10 to the power minus 4 meter square. Directly I have converted into meter square. Length of the arm OA of the balance beam is 30 centimeter. So length is given as 30 centimeter. So this we can write down as 30 into 10 to the power minus 2 meters. Okay. When there is no current in the coil, the balance is in equilibrium. Okay. On passing the current of 22 milliampere, so as you can see in the diagram, okay, when current is not flowing, what they have given, that balance that is given is in equilibrium, means net torque acting on that is 0. Okay. After the passing the current of 22 milliampere means 22 into 10 to the power minus 3 ampere through the coil, the equilibrium is restored by putting the additional counterweight of 60 milligram. So delta M means the excess weight that we are putting on this is 60 milligram means 10 to the power minus 3 kg. Milligram they have given. So milligram means milligram. So we have to convert this into. So this will become 60 into 10 to the power minus 3 grams, and okay, directly weight they have given 60 mg. 60 mg. So just with 60 mg milligram. Okay, milli m into g. Weight is given, so this is g. So directly weight is 60 into 10 to the power minus 3 g. Okay. So weight is 60 into 10 to the power minus 3 g on a balanced pen. Find the magnetic induction at the spot where the coil is located. So actually what will happen, due to this, when you pass the current, the torque will act, and that torque will be balanced by the torque of external weight that we are putting. So we can say that torque will be given by torque due to the magnetic field is given by is m cross b. Torque is given by m cross b if the number of turns are n and the angle between the magnetic field and the magnetic moment is 90 degree, then we can write down as NIA into B. So magnetic moment is given by I into A into N. NIA is magnetic moment and B is the magnetic field. Okay. So what we can say, this torque will be balanced by the torque of external weight that we are putting here. So external weight is delta mg into length is given as, so length of this arm will be OA arm, that OA is given, length of the OA arm is given as this one 30 centimeter. So we can say that torque of this, torque of magnetic field should be equals to torque of magnetic field. Torque of magnetic field should be equals to torque of mg. So torque of mg we can write down as delta mg into L. Delta mg into L. Delta mg into L. Clear? So we can say that Ni for equilibrium net torque should be 0, means NIAB should be equals to delta mg into L. So we have to equate this value. So number of turns are 200. Current is 22 into 10 to the power minus 3 into area is given as 1 into 10 to the power minus 4 into magnetic field we have to calculate should be equals to delta mg. Okay. So delta mg, that will be equals to 60 into 10 to the power minus 3, and the value of g I can consider as 9.8. Delta mg into length. Length is given as 30 centimeter means 30 into 10 to the power minus 2 meter. Okay. So all the values are known to us, only b we have to calculate. So the b value will be equals to around, the value of b will be equals to around 0.4 Tesla. After solving this, b value you will get as 0.4 Tesla. Okay. Only we have to solve this. So here the important point is, first thing is that what is the meaning of this delta m? Directly weight they have given. So delta m into g is given as delta m is given as 60 mg. Okay, so that is the weight directly given. So 60 into 10 to the power minus 3 into g. G is how much? 9.8. Okay. So next one is, next we will see the question number second. Okay. Now question number second is, two short magnets placed along the same axis with their like poles facing each other repel each other with the force that varies inversely s. Okay, see this. We know that for these type of systems, okay, if you want to calculate the force acting between the two magnets, okay, same axis with their like poles facing each other. So question number 2, like poles are facing each other like this. This is north, this is south. This is north, this is south. Identical magnets are there. Repel each other with the some force F. So that will be varying S. So for these kind of systems, whether it is a system of magnet or it is a system of electric dipole, the formula means you can say the variation will remain same. Force we have to calculate by, force is given by minus du by dx, minus du by dx, and we know that u is proportional to 1 by r cube. U is proportional to 1 by r cube. So we can say that if you differentiate this, we can say that force will be proportional to 1 by r to the power 4. Okay. So this you can remember also. First you can write down the potential energy of the system, then we can differentiate with respect to x. Then you will get the variation of force as distance. Okay. So actually, how to write down potential energy? We can write down the potential energy is given by minus m into b cos theta. In this case, theta is 0, so minus m into b. So what I will do, I will write down the magnetic field due to this at the distance x. So at distance x, I will write down magnetic field. So magnetic field due to this is given by mu naught by 4 pi 2m by x cube into magnetic field due to this we have written, and magnetic moment of this. So that I will consider as m, like this. Okay. So this is u. If you differentiate this, the power here is 1 by x cube. So if you differentiate this, what you will get? Power 1 by means power will become 4, means 1 by r to the power 4. After differentiating, this is actually u is proportional to 1 by x cube. So du by dx will be proportional to 1 by x to the power 4. Okay. So this is very important concept. So whenever we have variable magnetic field, okay, or variable electric field, like this way we have to calculate the force acting on these type of systems. Okay. Now we will move on to question number 3. So question number 3 is, the angle of dip at a certain place is 30 degree if the horizontal component of earth magnetic field is h. The intensity of the total magnetic field is, okay. So angle of dip means angle made by net magnetic field from the horizontal component of magnetic field. So that is known as angle of dip. Okay, that is known as angle of dip. So now they are asking the intensity of the total magnetic field. So we can say that B net cos theta should be equals to BH. So they have given, if the horizontal component of earth magnetic field is h, this value is given as h. So h will be equals to B net into theta is given as 30 degree cos delta, or we can say angle of dip is theta or delta. So this is cos 30 is root 3 by 2. So B net will be equals to 2h by root 3. 2h by root 3 is the answer. Now we will move on to question number 4. So magnets A and B are geometrically similar but the magnetic moment of A is twice that of B. Two magnets are given, A and B. Geometrically similar means their length is same. Length as well as dimensions are same. But the magnetic moment of A is twice that of B. So if I consider the magnetic moment of this as m, then for this it will be 2m. If T1 and T2 be the time periods of the oscillation when their like poles and unlike poles are kept together respectively, then T1 by T2 is. So T1 is the time period when like poles are kept together, like poles kept together. T2 is the time period when unlike poles kept together. Okay. So for this directly we have the formula. When the like poles are kept together, the total time period is given by 2 pi under root of I1 plus I2 divided by M1 plus M2 into B. Okay, see, general formula of time period is 2 pi under root of I by MB. Okay, time period is 2 pi under root of I by MB. So when the like poles are kept together, it is time period is given by 2 pi under root of I1 plus I2 by M1 plus M2 B. Okay, and when unlike poles are placed together, time period is 2 pi under root of moment of inertia will add up I1 I2 divided by, but the magnetic moment will be subtracted. So M1 minus M2 into B. Magnetic field is same. Okay, this is B. So they are asking the ratio of T1 by T2. So if you take the ratio, T1 by T2 will be equals to I1 and I2 will cancel out. This term will cancel out. Then what you will get? Under root of M1 minus M2 divided by M1 plus M2. So according to the given question, first one is having the moment of inertia of 2m. So 2m minus m divided by 2m plus m. So it will be equals to 1 by root 3. So the ratio of time period is 1 by root 3. Okay. Now we will move on to question number 5. So theoretical question, which of the following statement is incorrect about hysteresis? As we have seen the hysteresis loop. Okay. So about that loop they are asking the questions. The shape of the hysteresis loop is characteristics of the material. So that is correct. The shape of that hysteresis loop will depend on the characteristics of the material. Like this, we have drawn the hysteresis loop like this. Okay. So the shape of this will depend on the characteristics of material. The hysteresis loop area is independent of the thermal energy developed per unit volume of the material. So that is wrong. The area is proportional to the thermal energy developed in this. Okay, so option number 2 is wrong. So for question number 5, answer is second one, because that statement is wrong, because area under that hysteresis loop is proportional to the thermal energy developed per unit volume, okay, of the material. Now we will move on to question number 6. Two short magnets with their axes horizontal and perpendicular to the magnetic meridian are placed with their centers 40 cm east and 50 cm west of the magnetic needle. If the needle remains undeflected, the ratio of their magnetic moment is, okay, so magnetic field is magnetic needle is undeflected means we can say that net magnetic field at that point is 0. So for that the condition we can write down M1 by M2 should be equals to D1 by D2 cube. Okay, because we know that magnetic field is given by the formula of magnetic field is mu naught by 4 pi 2m by r cube on the axis. Magnetic field is given by mu naught by 4 pi 2m by r cube. Okay. So if you consider this is the magnetic field due to first one, then this will be R1. Magnetic field due to second one you can write on as mu naught by 4 pi 2 m2 by r2 cube. So now as the magnetic field is 0 means both the magnitude should be equal and the direction should be opposite. So we can say that B1 should be equals to B2. So B1 is equals to B2, then from that you will get this relation. So what we can say, this will cancel out. Then we can write down as m1 by r1 cube should be equals to m2 by r2 cube. So from this will be the relation. Okay, so directly here the d1 and d2 is given, so that is 40 and 50. So this we can write down as 40 by 50 cube. It will cancel out. How much you will get? 4 cube is 64, 5 cube is 125. So option number 4th will be correct. Okay, now we will move on to question number 7th. A straight wire carrying the current I is turned into a circular loop. If the magnitude of magnetic moment associated with it in mks unit is m, then the length of the wire is, okay, so length of the wire I will consider as L. Now this wire is turned into a circular loop. Circular loop, I will consider the radius is r. Then we can say that length should be equals to 2 pi r. So r we can write down as L by 2 pi. This relation we got for radius. Now we know that if the current is I, then magnetic moment is given by I into A. Okay, so magnetic moment is m given, I is I, into area we can write down as pi into r square. So r square will be L square by 4 pi square. So 1 pi will cancel out. So from this we can say L will be equals to 4 pi m by I. So then the length of the wire, so 4 L square. So it will be under root of 4 pi m by I. Okay, so option number 3 is matching for this question. Okay, now we will move on to question number 8. So in question number 8, at a place the horizontal and the vertical intensities of the magnetic field is 0.30 Gauss and 0.173 Gauss respectively. The angle of dip at this place is, okay, so the horizontal component is 0.30 Gauss and the vertical component is 0.173 Gauss. So angle of dip they are asking, so this will be angle of dip. So we can say tan delta. Tan delta we can write down as BV by BH, BV by BH. So that will be equals to 0.173 divided by 0.30. Okay, 0.30 only, 0.30. So if you solve this, what we can say, it will be equals to, see, 0.173. This we can write down as, if you remove the decimals, okay, you will get 100. So this will be, so how much you get? 173 by 300, 173 by 300. Okay, so that we can write down equals to 1.73 divided by 30. So 1.73 is root 3 divided by the angle of dip. So how much we are getting? 1.73. 1.73 is root 3. Sorry, this will become 1.73 by 3. Okay, so this will be 1 by root 3, and we know that for what value of theta the value is 1 by root 3, we can say, so delta will be equals to 30 degree, because tan 30 is 1 by root 3. Okay, that is the answer. Now question number 9th. If phi 1 and phi 2 be the angles of dip observed in two vertical planes at right angles to each other, then phi be the true dip, then, so this is the formula based question. Directly we can say true dip is given by cot square phi should be equals to cot square phi 1 plus cot square phi 2. So this is the formula. You should remember, this question was asked in previous years also. Okay, so it is better to remember the formula. So this is true dip, cot square phi is given by cot square phi 1 plus cot square phi 2. Okay, so for this question option number 1 is correct, important one. Okay, Now question number 10th. So in question number 10th, the magnetic field at a point x on an axis of a small bar magnet is equals to the field at a point y on the equator of the same magnet. The ratio of the distances x and y from the center of the magnet is, okay, so we know that magnetic field on the axial point is given by mu naught by 4 pi 2 m by, now x, the axis distance is given as x cube. Now on equatorial point magnetic field is given by mu naught by 4 pi m by y cube. Okay, so now they have given the ratio of the same magnetic field on the same magnet. So we can say that if this is same, then we can compare these two values. So what you will get, 2m by x cube, these two will cancel out, 2m by x cube should be equals to m by y cube, m and m will cancel. So actually they are asking the ratio of the distances x and y. So we can say that x cube by y cube should be equals to 2, x cube by y cube should be equals to 2. So x by y should be equals to 2 to the power 1 by 3. Cube root I have taken, okay, cube root. Now we will move on to question number 11th. So question number 11th is, the rate of change of torque with the deflection theta is maximum for the magnet suspended freely in a uniform magnetic field of induction B. See, torque is given by mb sin theta. Torque is given by mb sin theta. So rate of change of torque. So with respect to theta they are asking the rate of change of torque with the deflection theta. So with the deflection theta we can say that it is given by mv cos theta. Torque is given by m cross b, so mb sin theta, so it is mb cos theta. So we can say that it is proportional to cos theta. So it will be maximum when theta will be 0. If theta is 0, this value will be maximum, okay, because the value of cos theta is maximum at angle 0 degree. So this is question number 11th. Now we will move on to question number 12th. So a very small magnet is placed in the magnetic meridian with its south pole pointing north. The null point obtained 20 centimeter away from the center of the magnet. If the earth magnetic field at this point to be 0.3 Gauss, the magnetic moment of the magnet is, okay, the null point away from the center of the magnet, okay. So we know that magnetic field due to the magnet is given by mu naught by 4 pi 2m by x cube, okay, and they are saying that their magnetic field is 0. So we can say that this magnetic field should be equals to magnetic field of earth, horizontal component of magnetic field of earth. So that is BH. So we can say that mu naught by 4 pi 2m by x cube should be equals to, what is the horizontal component? 0.3. 0.3 into 10 to the power minus 4, because in 1 Gauss is equals to 10 to the power minus 4. So now what they are asking actually, okay, all the things are given in CGS unit, so no need to convert this into Tesla. So 2m by, so actually this we have to find out. A small magnet is placed in a magnetic meridian with its south pole pointing towards north. South pole is pointing towards north like this. This is south pole, this is north pole. The null point is obtained 20 centimeter away from the center of the magnet. If the earth magnetic field horizontal component at this point is this one, then the magnetic moment, okay, so at some point 20 centimeter from this is obtained. So they are asking the value of magnetic moment. Okay, so see how to calculate. What we can say, this value will be equals to mu naught is 4 pi into 10 to the power minus 7, 4 pi into 10 to the power minus 7, or in this will be equals to 2m by x cube. So what is x? X is actually 20. 20 cube should be equals to 0.3. So 2m should be equals to 0.3 into, so m will be equals to 0.3 into 4 0 0 0 like this. Okay, so how much he will get? It will be equals to 1.2 into 10 to the power 3 in EMU. So this means directly we can say 2m by x cube should be equals to 0.3. So that will come under EMU. Okay, so the option, the correct option for this question is option number 3, 1.2 into 10 to the power 3. Clear?